I'm Insomniac, and this is Caribou Blend from Caribou Coffee. Alright, today we are looking at a coffee from a brand I've never heard of, but I have, I think, a couple of their coffees in here that were sent in for review. It's from a brand called Caribou Coffee. This is Caribou Blend. It says smooth and classic coffee. You can see I have a little clip on here because I actually have opened this and sampled it already. It says here, fueling adventure since 1992. Like I said, I mean, I don't know every coffee brand by a long shot, but I've never heard of them. But it seems they've been around for a little bit, so that's pretty cool. Just a little bit closer look at the packaging. So you do have a lot going on in the bag. It's not the typical kind of just black bag with a label slapped on it like I've been showing you guys lately on the channel. There is plenty to read and look at here while you sip on the coffee. Give you a look at the beans here. In terms of relevant information here, it says this is a medium roast. Obviously it's whole bean, you just saw that there on screen. It does give you their recommendations for different brew methods, like the grind size you should use and how many tablespoons per ounces of water. So the first thing I smell in this bag is motor oil. And for those of you who haven't been working on cars since you're 16, you might not know what used motor oil smells like, but this smells like used motor oil, but with a ton of sweetness. It smells really like sugary sweet in the bag, but mixed with old motor oil. It's pretty interesting. Then I get some fudge. Not chocolate necessarily, specifically fudge. It smells kind of like a chocolatey fudge. That's cool. Then I get a kind of bean aroma, but not coffee bean. That would be a no-brainer, right? Reminds me of chickpeas. That's pretty cool. So definitely a bunch of interesting aromas out of the bag. Well, let's brew this up. We're going to use the AeroPress today, and let's see what it smells and tastes like in liquid form. Alright, so we brewed some of this up in the French press. Let us see what it smells like. Most of the aroma that I get is a really nice kind of big honey roasted mixed nutty aroma. Then I get a little bit of raw cocoa powder, like the unsweetened type that you buy in the can for baking. And the rest of it literally just smells like rich roasted beans. And not beans like you cook with or like chickpeas like I had in the beginning. Like beans. Like no crap beans. So a nice rich coffee aroma is what I'm saying. Alright, well let's see what it tastes like. Well, that's interesting. It actually reminds me of Little Debbie's fudge rounds. But if you were to delete the sugar out of it completely, there's really no sweetness to it, but it specifically reminds me of fudge rounds. There's a lot of mineral-rich earth. Then I have a little bit of bitterness on the finish, but not just your standard bitterness, and it has nothing to do with the mineral quality to it. It's a citrus bitterness that reminds me specifically of grapefruit, but it's not really its own flavor. That's why I'm not labeling it as also I taste grapefruit. It's almost like you get the grapefruit bitter, but not really the whole flavor. You have a nice big body. The flavors I'm describing are big. It's not watery or thin whatsoever, and it's fairly smooth. It's got a pretty quick finish. Really doesn't leave any type of, unwanted flavors in the mouth. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, really not bad. Definitely a pretty good cup. I'm not in love with it, but like I said, it's a pretty good coffee. If you like the type of flavors I outlined in this review, I would definitely give it a shot. If I were going to personally rate it on a 1 to 10, I'd say it's about a 6.5 for me. If you've had this coffee, definitely leave a comment down below. Tell everybody else what you think of it. If you want to support this channel and see a lot more coffee content coming your way a lot sooner, there is a Patreon page. Link is at the top of the video description. You get some cool rewards over there. Plus, you get 1 week early access to all of my coffee videos. And that's it. I'll see you all at the next one.